The drama surrounding Shadur Sanders in Cleveland has reached a fever pitch. What started as excitement over a promising young quarterback has now spiraled into one of the biggest controversies of the NFL season. Week 2's unofficial roster dropped a bombshell. Sanders, the highly touted rookie, has been listed as the third-string quarterback, stuck behind veterans who have already shown their limitations. The move has ignited outrage among fans, drawn sharp criticism from analysts, and even triggered direct involvement from Browns owner Jimmy Haslam, who reportedly refuses to let this decision stand. This isn't just about football anymore. It's about politics inside the locker room, ownership versus coaching staff, and the very identity of a franchise that has stumbled for decades trying to find stability under center. The Browns drafted Sanders with a clear vision: inject fresh energy, give the fans a reason to believe, and finally build a long-term answer at the most important position in sports. Andrew Berry, the team's general manager, emphasized from day one that this pick wasn't about leaving a rookie on the bench to gather dust. It was about creating a new face for the franchise, someone who could lead Cleveland into the future. Yet here we are, just 2 weeks in, and Kevin Stefanski continues to cling to Joe Flacco, a quarterback whose best years are long gone. Flacco himself admitted after week 1 that his performance wasn't good enough. But somehow that hasn't changed the calculus for the coaching staff. They insist on patience, on buying time, on easing Sanders into the spotlight. But every week he sits is another week of wasted momentum. Another week of frustration mounting inside the locker room. And another week where Cleveland risks losing the one player who can truly change the trajectory of this team. Fans have made their feelings crystal clear. When Sanders takes the field, the energy is different. Ratings climb. Social media explodes. Headlines follow. He isn't just another rookie. He's already become a phenomenon. And in today's NFL, that matters. Ratings mean money, attention, and relevance. For a franchise that has spent far too long in obscurity, Sanders is a gift. Jimmy Haslam knows this. That's why he's now pushing hard behind the scenes to force Stefanski's hand. According to reports, Haslam has even circled a date, October 5th, against Minnesota, a game where he wants Sanders to finally start. The tension is unmistakable. On one side, you have Stefanski and the coaching staff, trying to play the long game, protecting Sanders from being thrown into the fire too soon. On the other, you have ownership, analysts, and fans, all screaming that the future is now. Colin Cowherd put it bluntly: if the Browns stumbled to an 0-2-4 or 1-2-3 record, the pressure will be unbearable, and Sanders will have to step in. Even Cowherd acknowledged that ownership is fully behind the rookie. It's convinced he's not just a quarterback, but the potential face of the franchise. And then there's the locker room itself. Players know talent when they see it. They've praised Sanders' accuracy, his composure, and his growth. They watch him hit tight windows in practice, study the playbook relentlessly, and show maturity beyond his years. Compare that to Flacco, who looks every bit the worn-down veteran he is, and the frustration only deepens. For a team that desperately needs energy, fire, and belief, sticking with the status quo feels like sabotage. The whispers are getting louder. If Cleveland doesn't unleash Sanders soon, other teams will be waiting. His market value is sky high, and franchises across the league are reportedly circling, ready to pounce if the Browns falter. That's the risk here, not just losing games, but losing the one quarterback who could finally make Cleveland relevant again. Jimmy Haslam understands this, which is why he's expected to step in, ensuring Sanders gets his shot before it's too late. But even with ownership pressure, the coaching staff continues to resist. Their argument is familiar rookies need time, the speed of the NFL is different, and too much too soon can ruin development. There's truth in that. Plenty of young quarterbacks have been broken by being thrown into situations before they were ready. But Sanders isn't just another rookie. His accuracy, pocket presence, and football IQ already set him apart. Analysts who've studied his game argue that he's more than capable of handling the spotlight, especially compared to the underwhelming performances the Browns are getting right. Now it's also about the message being sent. By holding Sanders back while Flacco struggles, what is Cleveland really saying? That experience matters more than performance. That fans should wait while the season slips away? That the future can sit idle while the present continues to fail? Those are dangerous messages to send to a locker room, especially when veterans are already stepping up to defend Sanders and demand he get a chance. Jimmy Haslam knows all of this. That's why insiders believe he's already spoken to Sanders directly, reassuring him that his time is coming and urging him not to lose patience. That kind of ownership intervention is rare in the NFL, but in this case, it shows just how high the stakes are. Haslam isn't just protecting a player, he's protecting the franchise's future, its image, and its ability to capitalize on a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Make no mistake, the Browns are playing with fire. Every week Sanders sits, the noise grows louder. Journalists are openly questioning the logic. Fans are restless, and rival teams are quietly watching, waiting for Cleveland to make a mistake. If Sanders were traded, his value would skyrocket, and the Browns would once again be remembered as the franchise that let a star slip away. For a city that has endured heartbreak after heartbreak, that kind of mistake would be unforgivable. The writing on the wall is clear. Joe Flacco is not the long-term solution. Even he knows it. Kevin Stefanski can only resist for so long before the losses, the pressure, and the owner himself force a change. When that moment comes, Sanders must be ready, and, by all accounts, he is. He's studying, preparing, and waiting for the opportunity that everyone knows is inevitable. This is no longer just a quarterback controversy. It's a defining moment for the Browns. Their decision in the coming weeks could determine whether they rise with Sanders as their leader or collapse. Under the weight of indecision, the fans want him. The analysts are calling for him. The locker room is leaning his way, and the owner himself is demanding it. The excuses are running out. If Cleveland wants to salvage this season, restore faith in the fan base, and finally, put an end to the endless quarterback carousel, they need to unleash Shadur Sanders. Waiting any longer only risks disaster in the standings, in the locker room, and in the franchise's future. The clock is ticking, and the Browns are out of time. But what do you think, Browns fans? Should Jimmy Haslam step in and force Kevin Stefanski to give Shadur Sanders the reins right now? Is Sanders the future of this franchise? Or should the team continue to wait? And if Cleveland keeps holding him back, do you think another team might swoop in and give him the shot he deserves? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding quarterback saga.